bring you into their world. It's not just chickens and the Angus herd. So take off your boots, relax, and go beyond the ranch.
Hi there, and welcome back to Beyond the Ranch. It's the first Sunday of August already. Was it just me, or did July just like hang on forever?
June was 3 days.
June was 3 days long.
July was at least 62.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I don't know why July, and I don't know if nobody else probably experienced this, but it seemed like coming up to Ranch Roundup, it was just like we've got 9,000 things to get done. And then after Ranch Roundup, time stopped. Like, and it's 900 degrees, which doesn't help.
Hot.
But still, it was just like, oh my, it's just taking forever. But we made it to August. Tomorrow is Grace's birthday, by the way. So expect probably some birthday vloggage to happen during the weekend vlog next week. But I want to welcome you guys to what I'm officially calling Mod Night here on Beyond the Ranch. Every single mod is almost here in the house.
Is there anybody here but mods?
Matt Fensel, Zach Hewitt, Bill the Tractor Man, William Dunn here with us. I think, did I see Lori in here? I'm not sure if I did or not. She might be missing. She might be our one missing mod of the night. But thank you very much for being here to keep us all in line. And thank you for joining us in what I hope will be a new kind of live stream here on Beyond the Ranch, because obviously now adding in another video during the week, we have a lot of stuff going on. So I kind of wanted to figure out a way to kind of streamline the live streams a little bit. And I came up with this Shooting the Wyoming Breeze, because we always have a breeze in Wyoming. And kind of just making it more of a laid back, kind of relaxed.
Like it was so strenuous.
Well, it wasn't that strenuous, but it was, we came up, you would be surprised, like what happens behind the scenes. Like we have to, we come up with a topic for a live stream, and we used to do podcasts where we did the same thing, but then in effect, it's like how to manage all these different things. And I kind of thought it might be interesting to be able to take the podcast and the live stream and kind of try to put them together. And, like maybe I can give you a day off occasionally, and we could have a guest with us via the magical world of the internet, and have a guest host.
We've tried that. Scheduling's a nightmare.
It is a nightmare, but we can. Matt's not doing anything. Matt could take your place. All we have to do is put a I don't know, a stuffed animal here next to me, and then we'll just patch Matt in, and then it'll just be his audio, or we can maybe even get video to work. Who knows? There's all kinds of cool things that we can do. So anyway, that's kind of my plan, and being able to move forward and have some fun. Pod stream. There you go. I like that idea. Pod stream.
Sure. But basically, like in a podcast, we just talk about whatever with no interaction from them. So we're going to ignore you guys.
No, we're not. We're not going to ignore you guys. Erin might ignore you guys, and she's going to ignore me too. So yeah, it's no, I think this is something we can do. I think this is something that'll be fun. Maybe. We'll see.
I don't really know. I don't really understand why it's different than a normal live stream.
I don't know either. I'm slapping a new label on an old bag, an old product.
The only, like, if you and I talk, it essentially means, like, to some extent we have to ignore the audience, because you guys you make a squirrel sometimes.
You make us what?
Squirrel.
Squirrel. You make us squirrel.
Whereas, like, when we used to do the podcast, like, obviously it would just be the two of us, like, staring at each other. So we would squirrel ourselves.
We would. Now we're going to have a combination of all of them. Lori is here. Hi, Lori. How are you? Now
Hi,
it's
Lori.
Official. We have every single mod is here with us. Now it's officially Mod Day. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. So I'm going to break down our schedule for you, because I get a lot of emails now about how things have changed, and I'm going to lay it all out. So grab your pen and paper if you'd like to know exactly what is. Chef Tiny said he would dive out here to be a guest. He would swim here. He would literally swim here through the dirt.
It's really dry.
Yeah, it's really dry. It'd be a hard swim. I'm guessing he meant drive. But yeah, I think that could be fun. But anyway, so.
Yeah, did you call me an old bag?
No, I said a new label on an old product.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for looking out for me.
Thank you, Matt, for not looking out for me. What the heck just happened there? And she kicked me. Yes, she did kick me.
I was popping my ankle. Okay.
She did kick me. Daniel, man, thank you very much for the $50 super chat there. So where was I going to go with this? Okay, Tuesdays we have a video come out. That video will come out for 4:30, somewhere in there.
Mountain. All times are mountain.
All times are mountains. And mountains times. And then we're going to go back to our Friday video, because I can't do that I can't do that quick of a turnaround. I'm driving myself crazy. So we're gonna go back to a Friday video, and that will be.
It'll be a Thursday or a Friday video.
It'll be a Friday video, trust me.
At some point, it might go back to Thursday.
Why do you do this to me?
It
You're the
works
one that
better
told me
in
to
the-
switch it to Thursday in the first
Yeah,
place.
because it works better in the algorithm.
Aaron's all about that. Anyway, it'll probably go back to Thursday. So, and in between 4 and 5 Mountains time. And then we have our weekly vlog that happens on Sunday. That comes out at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Mountains.
Mountains time. And then, of course, here on Beyond the Ranch, we are going to have our pod stream. Which I like that. I like that a lot. I hope, Zach, don't go patting that or anything. And then we're going to do that the first and the third Sunday of each month
Yeah.
at 7 p.m. until it starts getting dark earlier, and then we'll switch it until 6 p.m. Right? Is that the plan? So there you go. I hope everybody was taking notes. I don't ever want to say it again. No, I'm just kidding.
Is everyone confused?
It's not confusing. It's 4 days.
That's way too much content. We need to cut back.
We need to cut back. Erin did a day of the vlog last week. That was fun.
The first week 2.
Week 2, you did it. Yeah, you did a whole day.
I didn't do anything this last week.
No, you did not.
My life's just
I mean,
on
you
repeat.
did lots, but you just didn't film it.
Yeah, no, my life's just on repeat. Same thing every week.
So just do a different day.
Okay.
So, because you did Monday,
Okay.
so now you can do Tuesday of this week.
Well, there was some Tuesday.
Okay, so Wednesday. What do you do on Wednesday?
Farm store.
Farm store. We can talk about farm store.
Sure.
Alrighty, guys. Got a hole in my lip.
Do you need a bid?
I do need a bib. Really quick, Alex is confused.
You can get this shirt on our website. Somebody said they liked your shirt.
Oh, I'm
Mongrel 1977. OurWyomingLife.com.
Yeah. New Patreons this month. I want to give a shout out to Peter Edwards, new Patreon supporter this month, and along with Helo Driver 20. I'm just kidding. At least it's not a horrible name. Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
But Helo Driver 20 and Peter Edwards, new Patreon supporters this
you.
month. You can support us at patreon.com/OurWyomingLife. $1 a month. It does actually help.
I mean, you
and
can do
helps buy hay.
more than $1.
You can do whatever you want. Yeah, really. So, thank you, Daniel, for the hay fund. I think we've got the hay thing figured out. Maybe. We've got some. I hate to talk about it because I'm going to jinx
I wouldn't
it.
say anything.
We'll talk about
There's
it once
no
we got
hay
it
here
figured out.
yet.
No hay here yet, and we're going to need hay. We have literally 1 bale left on the ranch, and it's the cows are eyeballing it. Actually, the steers
The
are
steers
eyeballing
need
it.
it.
We have those 10 steers that are in getting finished right now, and they're the ones that we have to worry about feeding, along with the horses. But we've got small squares for the horses, and then those other steers that we moved across the road. So
I saw 1,500-pound bales in Newcastle today for $200 a bale.
in Newcastle,
$200 a bale for 1,500.
$200 a bale.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
1,500 pounds.
When did they stop? And maybe Dan, I don't know how much hay Dan Wickersham buys, but I don't know if this happens back where he's at too. But they stopped selling hay by the ton. Now all of a sudden, it's all by the bale.
Because then you have to do math in your head.
It sounds better. Yeah. Like it's only
But
$200
it's not,
a bale.
so it's really like
But it's really like $220 a bale or $220 a ton or whatever it works out to be.
$250.
$250 a ton. There you go. Yeah, it's marketing. It's like free range hay or gluten-free hay for your cows. What?
Yeah, I guess.
Lactose intolerant hay? I don't know. All right, guys. So I posted on Facebook earlier today, and I screwed up because I actually scheduled this live stream on the Our Wyoming Life channel, and then I had to switch it over to the Beyond the Ranch channel. But I did get it changed on Facebook. So if this is your first time here, we really do appreciate lots of new names that I'm seeing, and they may not be new, but if anybody would like to go ahead and let me know this is their first time, I'd be happy to say howdy to you. I did put a thing on Facebook and said, if there's something you would like to hear about tonight while we're just chit-chatting back and forth, and if you have questions, feel free to throw them up. We're going to try to keep up.
See, this is just Q&A. We do this all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's not...
Why are you trying to bust my balloon here today? Just trying something new, something different. I usually don't
It's
ask
not
for
different.
questions. I usually don't ask for stuff on Facebook. This was new.
Okay, true. Facebook questions. That is new.
Thank
job.
you. So can I do this?
I forgot my claw koozie. And I'm not having a claw, so.
No, it's a Bud Light seltzer. How is it?
It's great.
Yeah.
These are awesome. These Bud Light seltzers, highly recommend. The
Not
summer
sponsored,
flavors, the retro flavors, the cherry limeade, best seltzer ever.
Very cool.
What
Very
it
cool.
is, I like it a lot. I'm assuming they're just for the summer, so I'm gonna have to stock up.
Yeah, well, you can probably buy summer ice in the wintertime. I think they have both seasons covered with that. Summer ice.
I want the cherry limeade.
Be like
just
winter
separate.
water.
So if anybody buys these and you don't like the cherry limeade, feel free to like mail them or send them my way.
Just don't put them in a plane; they'll probably explode. Thank you, Daniel,
Thank you,
for another
Daniel.
$50 super chat. Wow, thanks, man. Appreciate it. A question came through Facebook. You can answer this one. What breed are our cattle, and why don't they have horns? If you're not raised around cows, a lot of people I deal with, they wonder why our cows don't have horns. They think all cows have horns.
Because Angus are pulled.
And basically it's been bred out of them. So yeah.
So it just depends on the breed. And yeah, it's been essentially, it's GMOs through natural selection.
GMO'd. We have
It is.
GMO'd cows.
Anytime.
Our cows are non-GMO. Damn it.
So yeah, I mean GMOs get a bad rap, right? And like we can talk a little bit about GMOs, but like it's
How did we go from horns to GMOs?
it is a genetic modification.
It is.
Through selective breeding, whereas like a lot of crop GMOs and stuff happen in the lab, but they go a lot. So GMOs in a lab go a lot faster, but it's the same thing we would do in nature. So yeah, they've decided that cattle don't need to have horns. Serves no purpose in our climate, and so yeah, it's been bred out of them through.
Why would they need horns in another climate?
Some of the have you seen
They
the
use
big
they
African
use them for
ones?
cooling, right?
Yeah, the big, huge, like straight ones. Those are for cooling. So obviously, that's a genetic trait that you'd want to keep in certain climates.
I need some horns.
It's not as hot this next week.
I need some horns.
But yeah, so it's just been bred out of them, and some breeds don't, like Texas Longhorns wouldn't be a Texas Longhorn without horns. So some of our cows do have little nubs. There's a couple.
Cracker Jack has little nubs. Yeah.
There's a couple out there that have little tiny nubs, so it can still show up. But yeah, it's just been bred out of them.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Dan, answer my question. It's by the bale here too. Used to be all by the ton, but hobby farmers couldn't figure out for 2 bales a year. So we bought 100 tons of wheat straw at $100 a ton. We use it as
Is
stretch
wheat
hay.
straw gluten free? No.
No, probably not.
No, then your cows have gluten in them.
Dang it, tough for those cows. How are your chickens doing? I showed them in this week's weekly vlog. Have you been over to see your chickens lately?
I mean, I look at them.
I see them every day. I go and talk to people about your chickens every day.
I put the chicks in yesterday.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite chicken yet? One of the new ones? Because there's you got that variety pack or whatever you call it. You got just throw some in a box and send them to me.
Yeah, it's hard once they go from the shop being in the brooder into the chicken run and stuff. Like, yeah, I don't see them as much, and they just don't need as much attention because you don't have to fill up their feeder 3 times a day. But yeah, all the ones with hats on them are super funny.
Yeah.
All the Polish ones, and the Turkin is cool. The turkey's getting really big. The geese are ready for water. They're probably a couple weeks away from being able to go out and be all mixed together.
The geese are getting big.
So
they're ready
big.
to go out. Yeah.
They were naughty yesterday, and I couldn't get the chickens to go in because the geese were just standing in the door. And
Oh, really?
Yeah, they wouldn't move. So, yeah, I mean, they're good.
As for the nesting boxes, I kind of feel bad because
They don't like them.
they don't really like the new nest box. I don't know if I need to close off all the other nesting boxes and then just make them use that one.
Well, there won't be enough.
There's not enough room, right? Yeah. So
No, so we either need to get more of those because they
Yeah.
don't use it.
yeah,
They sit in it.
I haven't even seen anybody sit in it.
Well, there's feathers in it.
I did take some and I sprinkled some feathers in there, trying to put the scent in, right? But it's weird. It's at a slope because obviously the eggs need to roll down.
Yeah.
And I think that makes them feel like they're on the Love Boat. Like they're just kind of swaying back and forth.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't figure it out. But
I mean, I wish we kind of had done it in the wintertime when it was cold so we could just lock everybody in the chicken house.
that might have worked.
It's too hot. We can't do that.
We might still see it work. I think we've gotten a couple eggs out of it, probably on accident. I don't know. But
I honestly haven't gotten eggs forever. The kids do it. Jeff does it. You do it more than I have. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so let's answer a couple questions here as we're moving along. Joyce Basinger asked when the kids go back to school. When do they go back to school?
23rd.
End of August.
August 23rd. It's not the end of August.
Almost to the end of August. Right? 23rd is almost to the end.
Still like 7 days left.
Yes, very good. Very good. We've seen a lot of hay prices come by. Brian said there was some in Pennsylvania for $30 a ton. Yeah, too bad I don't have one of those Star Trek teleporter things and get them here, because the trucking would end up costing more
Go
than
back
anything.
to Zach's comment. So someone posts on local Facebook looking for 210 delivered and they got laughed at. Yeah, no, and it shouldn't cost more than that.
No, not at all. We had hay last year that was what,
135
135 delivered.
delivered.
Yeah, so it's just, there's a lot of bad things happening with hay. Let's see. Turkins.
They're cool.
You got one of those.
I got one
I wish
turkin.
you would have got more of those, because I have a feeling he's going to get picked on, because he's like the only one. He has no gang of his own.
Well, we'll have to get more next year. We don't need another chicken.
You sure?
We are going to have so many eggs because we have, how many do we have that are laying right now? Like 40, 50-ish or
Yeah,
something that are
like
laying
that.
right now.
Yeah, 50, I'd say.
And then the surprise box had 50. And there's probably 10 or so roosters in there, 10 to 15 roosters. And which we'll have to get rid of.
What are you going to do with them?
I don't know, sell them on Facebook.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Our Wyoming Life roosters coming right up as soon as I can tell which ones are
Yeah.
roosters. And then, but I also ordered like another 30 laying hens along with the surprise box.
Really?
So lots of eggs coming spring of
lots eggs.
2022.
Holy smart. I didn't realize there was that many. Holy
Yeah, there's like
smokes.
70 or 80 chickens there.
Wow, that's a lot.
And the geese and the ducks.
Yeah.
I might have a problem.
A little bit of a problem.
Would sending by train be cheaper than cost per load? We've looked into shipping by train. I mean, have you guys? Has anybody ever seen hay on a train? Because I've never seen it.
Not up here, that's for sure. I mean, even getting it, so obviously a lot of coal here and coal trains moving in and out. We don't see a whole lot of freight trains coming through except for on the main drag. And we did talk to, this was a couple of years ago, we talked to somebody at Burlington Northern about bringing hay up. The big problem that we had was Burlington Northern wouldn't ship from state to state because there was worries about fire ants and all kinds of weird things that we'd have to worry about.
I've never seen hay on a train. Not once in my entire life.
No, I never have either.
And not up here, at least.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, it's a great idea. You think it'd be simple to do, but and they talked about like they could bring a load up and then pull it off on a what are those
spur.
called, on a spur,
Yeah.
and then you'd be able to go and unload it at your leisure. You know, you'd have 3
We'd have
days
to
to
take
unload it.
we'd have to take
unload
a
it.
tractor in, which isn't the end of the world.
Yeah,
but
and you'd have to probably get a semi because I don't know how many tons you
Yeah.
could fit on that damn thing. But yeah, it's
it's not. I mean, it's you can't just call up your local BNSF office and be like, hey, I need to ship something.
yeah, I need a train car. Yeah. Apparently, you got to have some clout or something to get in with the trains.
I think if it was possible to ship by train, people would ship hay by train. But yeah, there's noxious weeds that certain states don't want brought in.
Yeah.
There's pest, and so all of that, like within like our bordering states and stuff, like that's all probably sorted out through Department of Ag of like where you can and cannot transport and
Right.
stuff. But when you start crossing, like if you start crossing state lines and they're not bordering states, it's going to get a lot trickier. So.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to buy hay for $30 a bale from Tennessee or wherever. But
Yeah, I mean, there's places down south where they're getting rid of hay.
Yeah.
They just can't keep it. So, M. Weber asked, has the artwork in the background been talked about? This is actually done by Patty Amato, who's one of our subscribers. You see her in live streams occasionally. Lives down in Arizona. Came up and stayed in the Airbnb for about a week with her husband Manny, and brought us the picture. So we thought we would hang it up. I wish it was more exciting than that, but that's pretty much it. Let's see. Processing still on schedule. Oh my gosh, what is happening with processing? Because
we have 10 steers going in September and 6. How many pigs do we have left?
6 pigs.
6 pigs. I have to email Sturgis tomorrow.
Okay, let's find out about those pigs. They're eating us out of house and home, those pigs.
Well, they're going in September.
Sweet.
We
We might be buying more freezers.
Some more steers in November, more steers in December, jerky cows in November and December. All the steers across the road will be gone by the end of the year.
Yeah, we should be cleaned out.
Or 18 steers will be gone by the end of the year.
And then we're talking about new piglets in September.
Yes.
So we'll have new pigs in September. So.
And then starting February, we process 5 every other month or something like that. So we have a more consistent processing schedule in 2022, which is nice. And we're doing 30 pigs next year.
Yeah. Firefly asking if we can do a follow-up video on the loans for startup farmers. So we did the So You Want to Be a Farmer series, or So You Want to Be a Rancher series. And we kind of petered out on that just because COVID hit.
Yeah.
And I had a bunch of interviews lined up and everybody canceled on me and didn't want to do anything with it.
Yeah,
and,
I
and
mean,
all the, NRCS and all those guys shut down.
So
and
there's
it was
no
just a nightmare.
there's no NRCS loans. There's farm services. USDA doesn't really have loans. They have a few like grant programs. Yeah, I mean, I guess they might have loans.
There's grants and there's veteran programs and
there's
some
new and
stuff out
beginning
there.
farmer, and there's socially disadvantaged farmer. Whereas, like for farm services, if you're a woman, you qualify for socially disadvantaged, but USDA you don't. You can get a high tunnel through USDA. You just need to go talk to your local representatives. There's new and beginning farmer programs for farm services. There are some some generational transfer programs. Their website has most of the information.
Yeah.
It's really going to depend on how much your local agent wants to work with you. And also, if you're looking to get a loan, I'd go talk to a bank in your area that does agricultural loans, because they can also they can combine programs. So they can combine your FSA programs along with just like ag loans through the bank. And so they can kind of put stuff together. So.
Right. And I can probably do a video about it someday when I need something.
I mean, we don't have an ag loan, so I mean that's kind of part of the reason why we haven't done that video, because it's, I mean, like, yeah, we can go talk to people and stuff, but
Right.
We don't have an ag loan at this point.
No.
Maybe coming soon.
Coming soon to a ranch near you. JB Weld, $10 super chat, 2022 herd size estimate. I think we're going to be cutting back, honestly. We talk about, ag loans and stuff like that, but like we have to buy hay. And hay at the price that it is now, if we actually figured it the other day, if I bought enough hay to feed every single cow that we have now throughout the winter, just 180 days of winter, just 6 months, it was like 80 grand or something like that in hay. And that
It's
was
got to be a little more than that.
probably, it was, I think I figured like 200 and some odd, 220 or something like that delivered
Well, and
price.
that's not like our steers and stuff, so.
No, and then you got to roll in everything else with that. So I think what we're going to see is a herd reduction. Which honestly is not a bad thing. There's a lot of older cows out there. There's some cows that are ready to go. That this kind of almost like forces your hand. So you say, okay, now I have to do something, and I have to make some decisions here that aren't really that popular or fun to make, but you have to do them, and then you rebuild from that. And that's what you see a lot of times in the cattle industry, is a lot of ebb and flow kind of thing, where you pick it up, you fall down, you pick yourself up, you move forward. Yep. And I think that the Mother Nature has kind of kicked us in the ass here lately, and has been for years and years and years. And we've managed to stay upright for as long as we can. We did have the herd built up to like 150 at one point.
Yeah.
And then we've been slowly backing off since then.
Our herd size is going to go down, because what we are doing is we're going to go more direct to consumer, and this is forcing us into that faster, right? Because like obviously we can sell a finished steer goes for anywhere from $3,000 to $3,500, maybe upwards of $4,000 if it gets sold exclusively in the farm store. A calf sells for $800 to $1,200. So and there's more cost involved with finishing a steer. There's more time involved. So it's not like we're making that much more of a profit, but we are making more of a profit. So this is going to switch us. We want to be 100% to direct to consumer and get away from an auction. And it's going to take us a few years, but the drought's going to force us to do it faster. And just because, say we reduce our herd size down to like, less than 100, and we sell 30 of those in the farm store, well, now we're at a bigger percentage than we have been in the past. And as we build our customer base and stuff, like we'll just go hard. Like I want every single steer to go direct to consumer, probably by like 2023.
Yeah, and I have this dream of having heifers that we could sell, just heifers, or we can sell bred heifers, and sell those to other consumer or other ranchers that can help. Who doesn't want an Wyoming Life heifer to be on their ranch, or even a hobby farm?
Yeah.
I think that's a great way to get away from the auction program. Every single morning when I do the tour, I talk to people about the auction system and how it just feels like it's not there for us. It's not built for the frontline producer. It's built for those folks farther, sometimes way farther down the line when you get into the packers and distributors and grocery stores and that kind of thing. There's a reason that Walmart and Whole Foods are buying ranches. They want to control the supply chain from the very beginning, and there's more money to be made in it.
And I want to control our supply chain.
Exactly. So we're just doing the opposite. We're pulling a Jeff Bezos.
I want to control our money. I don't want to go to auction and hope for the best. Like, we're done with that.
Yeah.
Done.
Could you imagine if everything in life was like that? Like auction-wise? Like, you know what? I'm going to go to work today. I'm going to work 8 hours. At the end of the day, let's roll the dice. Let's see what happens. Oh, shit, I only made $2 an hour today. Dang, I crapped out.
Better luck next year.
Yeah. Or you could hit it big. You could roll that. Oh man, I just earned $20 an hour. Awesome, great.
I'm done with this crap.
Yeah,
done.
It's ridiculous. It's not helping any producers at this point. And unless you're a big giant producer who has contracts and that kind of stuff, I mean, if you're contracting directly with not even with a feedlot, with a packer at this point, you probably got some sort of advantage on a lot of different people. So
well, we're hoping there will be some new cows hopefully joining us this fall.
Right.
Hopefully some registered cows. We always buy registered bulls. We're not going to necessarily track genetics down to like who's breeding who and stuff, but like really good breeding stock. Steers are going to be finished and sold in the farm store. Our direct to consumer heifers can go to people who want to keep them for their own herd, and we'll keep them for our own herd also.
Right.
So that is the direction that we're moving. 100% direct to consumer. It is going to take us a few years.
You know what we could do is during the 30 and 30. A heifer is born. The bidding is open.
We'll just make our own auction.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just bid for them online. YouTube will be like, what the hell is going on over there? What are these people doing? Yeah, it'd be crazy. It'd be fun. And I think that, there is something to be said for that, I always compare it to, and I do this in every single tour too, but if you make T-shirts for a living and you have a T-shirt machine that breaks down, you can raise the price of your T-shirts to pay for a new machine. If I have a tractor that breaks down and I go to the auction and say, hey guys, I had a tractor breakdown this year. Can you really try to get me an extra 10 cents a pound? They would laugh me out of the place.
And get us 10 cents less a pound.
They would. So why not take control of your own industry and especially your own supply chain when you're the beginning of that supply chain? That's the thing that drives me nuts about the whole thing, is that you frontline producers like us are right here in the beginning of the supply chain. If you just say, you know what, we're not going to play this game anymore,
I'm done.
Lots of people down the line are going to have to wake up and go, oh, wait a minute, they figured it out. We're not going to have to. We're going to have to play their game.
And it's going to depend on you guys as consumers and stuff too. And not that you guys have to buy owl beef and stuff, but like we hear over and over again, we want you to ship beef. I don't have the availability to ship you guys any beef. Like we don't have it. Like we're out of steaks.
Right, we are out of steaks.
We've had 7 or 8 steers processed this year. We're out of steaks until October. Like I can send you hamburger, but like there's so much demand that we have, thankfully. Like, but it's gonna, in order for us to be successful and other ranchers to be successful doing this, it's gonna depend on you guys as consumers to change your buying habits and to not go to Walmart and go to the grocery store and buy meat, but to buy a deep freeze and buy in bulk from a producer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's harder to do.
It is hard.
It is hard.
And it changed how you guys, instead of going and spending $30 on beef, you're going to have to come up with $1,500 on beef.
See, that's the hard part.
And that's why we offer a variety of you can buy half. I haven't offered halves and wholes for well over a year because we haven't had availability. I think we have 10 going in September. I think I can do a couple of them. But our demand has been so great that we put 13 pigs in the freezer and we did 15 pigs. I sold 2 of them direct to consumer. One was to family. Mm-hmm. I can sell everything that we can produce at this point, which is amazing, but we need more processing and we need time to build up our stock. You know, I can't just go out there and just be like, okay, this one's ready.
So one of the biggest questions I get right now, it has to do with packers, and I think I saw it go by, is why is the price of beef going up at the grocery store?
Because it can.
Producers are now getting the lowest price, so we're blamed for having a surplus of beef, surplus of calves coming in. So that's our fault. And so
people are dumping herds. I mean, there is going to be a surplus right now.
There is going to be it's in a drought and everything else. But why doesn't that relate from the frontline producer all the way to the grocery store?
Because it doesn't
Why
have
is there
to,
why is
because-
there a hiccup in the middle?
Because 4 packers control 80% of the market. Like, they can do whatever they want to. And there's a backup at small local producers, because when COVID hit and the supply chain was interrupted, every single farmer and rancher decided to sell 5 or 10 beef direct to consumer, which is great. It is getting better. There have been, in our Northeast Wyoming, there's been 1 new USDA facility that's opened in Sheridan, which helps. And just some of the craze of COVID and stuff has calmed down a little bit. So I already have my 2022 dates booked. I have for months. But I know with talking to Sturgis and stuff, they have a little bit of wiggle room, here and there a little bit. And also I think I have 15 pigs scheduled. We only have 6. So I need to fix that. So they have some room in there, but they're dealing with staff shortage, just like everybody.
Nobody wants to work.
If somebody could explain the labor shortage to me, that would be great. 'Cause I'm really confused why nobody is working in the service industry. But it's getting better, and I know there's more processing plants in Wyoming that are going to be coming online in the next year, and there's federal money to help processing plants open.
Yeah.
So it will get better. The processing jam will get better.
Whether or not that affects the price of beef, I have a feeling beef is like gas, right? You buy fuel, you pay whatever price it is, but it never ever seems to go down. Occasionally, every once in a while, you'll see the price of gas drop, but it's never going to go down to $1.50 a gallon again. We're never going to see that in our lifetime, and that could be the same thing.
I didn't think we'd
with
see
hamburger.
$2 gas, but we did. So.
Yeah, exactly. So do you see it drop or do you see it go up? It's going to raise. It goes up. Prices go up. They don't come down very often. JB Weld, $10 super chat. How divisible is a live animal when you're direct to the consumer? I always hear people buying half a cow. Can you put 100 shares into your cow on your website and sell those shares? This actually happened in Wyoming. Was it this year or last year?
I think it passed this year.
Legislation went through. So it used to be in Wyoming that the most, so you have an animal. There's a cow, right? This big animal. You can sell shares in that animal. So you could sell up to 8 shares in a cow in the state of Wyoming. So 8 different people
at an uninspected facility. It gets super complicated. And I've talked about this before. Wyoming has 3 tiers of processing. No inspection. Your custom exempt plants.
Right.
They largely do a lot of wild game along with some beef and pork, but it's uninspected. It'll say on the label, not for resale.
Right.
You can do up to an 1/8 or up to 8 shares at an uninspected facility. At a state inspected or a federal inspected, you can do whatever.
Yeah.
You can sell individual cuts.
So what happened was this year they actually pushed legislation through and said unlimited shares of this animal, which was great. It made national news. Wyoming now says that anybody can buy a part of this cow.
What is 1/100th of a cow?
Yeah, what do you get?
We don't even sell quarters, because this is why. A front quarter is substantially different from a back quarter. We sell halves.
Yeah.
You can buy half or you can buy a whole. I've never done a quarter.
Yeah, when people get quarters, they're like, "Where's my brisket?" Well, you didn't get a brisket; you got rump roast.
A back. Yeah. So we've never done quarters. We've always done halves, wholes, and then sometimes when you have a surplus, we'll do. And when we were starting to sell direct to consumer at farmers market, we would do bundles.
Yeah.
So we do a 25, a 50, or 100-pound bundle, and we would divide that then. A third of it would be hamburger, a third of it would be roast, and a third of it would be steaks, and I would do a mixture of whatever of those cuts we had in stock at the time.
Right.
So.
By the
I don't
way,
know how you sell 1/100th of a steak, just of a beef. Just come to our farm store and buy what you want.
Buy a T-bone and call it good. There's your 1/100th. I saw earlier Chef Tiny was here. Chef Jim was here too. So if we ever do guest hosts, we could have Chef Tiny and Chef Jim and a battle royale on the channel. Tyler Stetson is an auctioneer, and he says that he sees the price on cattle, and packers really trying to control the price. Yeah. Tyler, you would make a pretty good guest host. We could have an auctioneer on. You could do the auctioneer thing. Tyler, send me an email.
I've been watching the auctioneer TikToks, and you should learn how to do it.
I cannot. My mouth does not go that fast. It will fall off.
You should, if you don't watch TikTok, just watch YouTube videos. It's rhymes that
right,
they're saying.
Yeah, they learn how to say rhymes.
Yeah, so it's Sally sell seashells down by the seashore, but much more complicated and much longer. It's really fascinating.
Right. Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, so you would do, when we do halves and stuff, it's done by the hanging weight. And
that's a squirrel. Whoop, squirrel, back.
And watch auctioneer content. It's amazing. Yeah, so we do our halves and wholes based upon hanging weight. So yeah, we're taking 5 at a time. If you've put on a deposit. I require a deposit beforehand. If you're interested in buying a half-hour hole, send us an email because, like I said, we do probably have a few that are going to become available.
Matt will throw up an email for you.
Yeah, so halves, holes, it's based upon hanging weight, and then you get to custom cut. So if you want boneless or you want it all, I wouldn't grind it all because it's good steer meat and you want steaks and
Just
stuff.
want all hamburger.
Yeah, so you get to pick how you want it cut. You want, if you want 3-pound roast or you want 5-pound roast or you don't want any cube steak or whatever. So if you're ordering from a farmer or a rancher, and you're doing like a half-hour hole, you should get some say in your cutting instructions.
Make an interesting video talking about buying a half or a whole and how that works. Because 80-101, just, who gets the brisket? Well, the brisket's cut in half. There's half right down the middle. Brisket's on both sides.
It's down the middle. So they cut your carcass in half.
Yeah.
And then, so you get half a brisket, but half a brisket's
But we could
big.
talk, you could have, there's all kinds of stuff to it, hanging weights. All that, just all kinds of different things you would have to deal with.
Yeah, we could talk about it.
Be an interesting video.
To beef or pork processed during hunting season is unreal. Yeah, so we go to a USDA facility. They're not doing a lot of wild game, but your custom exempt plants are your lowest tier, and every state's different. Those ones that do wild game, if they're doing beef along with it, you're not. Also, you're not processing beef during wild game season. Also, right now it's fair time. Really hard to process in August also.
Oh, true. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to do anything. I called our pig guy because we don't have a sow and a boar because I just don't have that much time
for that.
So we buy from a guy named Rob who's over in South Dakota, and I called him this week and said, hey, I need to schedule my pigs, and he said, call me back in 2 weeks because I'm dealing with fair right now, and it's just ridiculous. So I get it. So anyway, moving right along here. That was an interesting tangent. See, that's what we just kind of go with the flow. Shooting the Wyoming Breeze. I almost said shooting something else. Either way, it works. Erin, this is a loaded question, but what do you do in your spare time?
I don't have spare time.
That's what you would say. You do. I see you play on you like your iPad.
Yeah. So
I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're over the age of you're free and over the age of 18.
Will often get up at 5:30 in the morning so I can have a couple of hours in the morning that I don't have to be outside. So that
you don't have to deal with anybody.
Yeah.
Be like your
nobody
quiet
gets
time.
up at 5:30 in the morning except for me. So, but yeah, I like to get up about 5:30 and then go out at 7 or 8 or not today. It was 10 or so before I went outside. It's Sunday.
It is Sunday, but I think I did more today than I have in 2 weeks.
Yeah, spare time is for the winter, but my job keeps me busy. Even in the wintertime.
You have 4 jobs, so.
Well, my nonprofit keeps me super busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I should probably clean the house more, but who cares?
That's not something you want to do in your spare time either. Patty Amato is here. Patty is the artist who painted this right behind us. Everybody say hi to Patty and thank her very much for giving us our backdrop that we'll run with here for a little while. We like to change it up every once in a while, but when Patty sent this, it was we got to do this. So thank you, Patty, very much for the new painting for our background. We really do appreciate it. Let's see. How many babies did you end up having this year? Oh my gosh, we have
over 100.
Yeah, there's over 100 out there. There's quite a few. Any chance to buy organ meat for dog food or any of your compost? Christy is literally offering to buy our crap.
If I end up with some more compost, some extra compost, Christy, sure.
We actually, EZ1913, who's down in Las Vegas, has been sending us the 1-ton bags. That we could fill with crap and put in the back of your truck.
I don't know if you can ship compost across state lines, though. We'll have to look into that. I talked to Jeff today briefly while we were watching you till in the tunnel, and I said I need a lot of compost made. So it's all been cleaned out of the barn and piled up, but it needs to be moved over to the garden area and straw added to it, and we need to get composting. Pretty much every plot needs compost except for the summer high tunnel. So yeah, we need to make a lot of compost. So.
Yeah, we can get you some compost if you want compost.
I need a lot. I need enough for the north high tunnel and big garden, little garden.
I'll talk to the cows and see if I can.
Well, there's plenty of material out there.
Get them some Metamucil and let them get flowing. Get them going.
At this point, we've only ever composted enough for our needs. We've never composted extra. And what was the other one?
Organs. Animal organs.
Yeah, so that's like hit or miss. So sometimes I ask for it, and sometimes I don't get it. Or sometimes they send me a whole pig liver, and they don't cut it up. And what am I supposed to do with that? Like, who wants a whole pig? Remember how big those were?
Those pig livers are huge.
So
I don't know why pigs need such a big liver. They don't drink. Maybe they should, because those pigs could put through some whiskey.
What was it? I mean, it had to have been like 8. I mean, it was
It's huge. It's humongous.
8 or 10 pounds.
I need that size of liver. I could have so much fun. You want to know what I do in my spare time? I test my pig liver. And get it like installed externally in like
I should
a
on
bag.
this next round. I'll probably ask for organs.
Yeah.
It goes in waves in the farm store too. So like, you know, sometimes I'll sell a lot of. Somebody asked for liver the other day, and other times it just sits there. But it's fun when I get tongues because they're always whole and they're shrink wrapped, and I just like to put them like up top in a basket, and so people like open it and they're
What is
like,
that?
woo. Yeah. So we only ever get. Well, I get liver, but I like it sliced.
Do hearts.
Yeah, and then
Hearts
the
are
tongues.
weird.
People
Yeah.
like tongue. So.
Tongue. Have you ever had a cow tongue?
No, because I watched my mom cook it for Gilbert, and you have to peel this, like she always just put it in the crock pot with like salt and pepper and onion and would boil it for hours, and then you'd take it out, and then you'd have to peel it, and like the taste buds come out.
You peel the skin off the tongue.
Ugh.
I don't know.
That was just like a visual that like I'm not gonna eat that.
Blonde cow is in the corral, and every morning we go and give her cake. And she's like part of the tour, so people get to see Blonde Cow, which is great because it sells t-shirts. Because I'm always like, this is Blonde Cow. She's had 13 calves. She's not having any more, so now she has to pay her own way. And by the way, we have t-shirts and koozies and coffee mugs in the farm store that you can buy that has her face on them.
There's no Blonde Cow
Oh, there's
coffee
no
mugs.
Blonde Cow. Well, yeah, no more Blonde Cow coffee mugs. But
More shirts coming soon.
you can buy a shirt and help pay her way on the ranch. You know. Anyway, long story
Jeff,
short.
why didn't you take the chicken livers out when you were here processing chickens?
Yeah.
Yeah, why didn't you just do that yourself?
Tastes like roast beef. Tongue tastes like roast beef.
Yeah, I mean
There
that's
you
what
go.
I've heard, but that visual of like peeling the skin off is just.
It does not surprise me that Manny likes cow tongue,
Yeah.
especially in street tacos.
I'm sure it's. I mean, I'm sure it's delicious.
If you marinate it in enough whiskey, everything tastes fine. And pig liver. Ooh. Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah,
Oxtails, look at
I
all
don't do
this.
organ meat. I don't really like wild game. Like I just give me a tenderloin.
Give me a tenderloin and call it good.
Yeah.
All right. Obviously, Jeff Lake here hanging out with us, and I do want to throw him a little bit of a bone, if not a chicken liver. And really do I want to thank Jeff for all the help that he's given us. He has been here since April. He showed up the second week of April to help us out with calving, to help out during the 30 and 30. And
Jeff doesn't. Well, you don't want to work for your chicken livers?
I don't want to work for him. He has been here since. Now, we have taken the tires off of his trailer and he can't leave. But he has been here and helping out. We actually, it's no joke, we did buy an Employee of the Month plaque, which has been hanging down in the shop. I decided to bring it up here just so I could show it during this. And we have been changing the picture here constantly. Did you all see all the pictures that we put in here?
Yeah.
So this is Jeff's graduation picture. And then we
Well,
have...
I know that doesn't look like Jeff now.
It does. I can. That looks like Jeff. You throw.
Yeah, but not
you throw
like-
some gray hair on there and a beard. That's Jeff. I mean, he has not aged at all. These
He's
two
aged
guys.
some.
So I'm gonna. This is what I wanted to do. This is the whole reason I brought this up here because.
I mean, this is real high quality glass here. I mean, you can just
Hey,
bend
hey,
it.
hey! Why you gotta? Why you
Bend
gotta
it and
hate?
everything.
Come on. It's his plaque, man. I spent money on this. So here we go. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to this is actually taken at the first ranch roundup, I think, when Jeff came for the very first ranch roundup. So I don't have like a before and after the ranch picture because I think that might be kind of interesting. We'd probably see a few more wrinkles and not. But there we go. There is there's before and after. He still looks almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you, Jeff. We do appreciate all of your help. I've gotten
You
tons.
should take a picture when he leaves in September. He just looks
It's like,
tired.
you ever seen the pictures that when they show like a president when they come into office and then they show them when they leave, like 4 or 8 years later, and they look like they aged about 50 years?
Yeah.
That's what Jeff's going to look like. But no, thank you, Jeff. I really do appreciate it. We've got a lot of emails from folks. How did you do that?
It was upside down.
Oh, there we go. We've gotten a lot of emails from folks talking about how impressive it is that Jeff is here, working and helping out here and there. He's kind of become like almost like a member of the family. I mean,
Yeah, he's watching our kids.
He's watching our kids right now. They're down playing with Jeff. So
He made us dinner last night. I didn't eat it, but he made dinner.
you're so nice. You're so nice.
I don't like lamb either.
Well, it was actually pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of lamb, but it was good. I think I ate, 2 lamb shanks, whatever it was, 2 legs of lamb,
No, they weren't legs.
whatever they
They
were.
were shanks.
What's a shank? I
The
probably
skinny
should know
part.
this before I eat it. What is a lamb shank?
The skinny part.
The skinny part of the leg.
Yeah.
So like the lower leg?
Yeah.
They have meat on their
like
lower
soup
legs?
bones.
I have the goats. They have like no meat on them.
Like soup bones.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, it's good stuff. So
But shanks. But you same part of the animal.
right.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you, Jeff. We do appreciate it. Why do you cut the tails off the chickens? That's the first part I eat. Larry, I've never.
No.
No?
It's so much easier to get out all the gross stuff if you just
I don't know. I'm just doing what I'm told.
you just cut around that. You don't need that.
Aw, Jeff, you're
Because they're my
cute.
chickens and I do what I want.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to have to watch Yellowstone because somebody says that Jeff reminds them of Lloyd.
We'll have to start that in the wintertime.
Yeah, no doubt. Cicero, Illinois. Here's a quick piece of info. The chief of police in Cicero, Illinois, is actually a subscriber to the channel, a big fan of the channel. And so, Scott, if you ever get in trouble, feel free to drop my name.
And you talk to the
Yeah, if you end up talking to the chief of police for some weird reason. But let's see. Do you guys watch the show Yellowstone?
No.
I never have. I have never watched it. It's
I
kinda
know
like-
that if they take them to the train, it means they're dead.
Really?
That's all I know.
These are things I should know in case you ever offer to take me to a train. Really?
That's
They
where
say
the
we're
haze
taking
come.
them to a train?
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know either. Let's see. Scrolling through. I got more questions from Facebook that we can hit if we can. We don't have anything here.
How cool was it to see rain? It was nice. And that was in the forecast for quite a while. So I check the forecast all the time. You
I
don't.
don't. I get tired of it. It's like checking lottery tickets.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? If I win, they'll call me. Like, just figured somebody will let me know.
So yeah, I mean, and we had so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday last week were ridiculously hot. I think Tuesday was the worst, and it was like 101. We weren't as hot out here, but I think we hit 101. Some places in town were like 103, 105. It was just awful. Monday was like 98. Tuesday was 98, something like that. So we had, so leading up to that rain. So then the rain was Thursday, and we knew it was going to cool down, and there was a pretty good chance of rain. So leading up to that, I think we had like 10 days that it was in the 90s, and not like 91, but like 95 and above for 10 days. It was really, really bad. And so it was nice to actually see it happen. Because it was in the forecast forever. And yeah, first time in a long time that there's actually been rain in the forecast, and it happened. And it was, what did we end up? We had a little shower Thursday morning, which was like 6/100ths, not much.
We ended up with almost a half an inch.
Almost having like 0.46 or something, which is, it does nothing. Does nothing. The fire danger is still going to be significantly high because all the grass that did grow is dead. So it doesn't really help.
We were out filling up the water truck today though, and it looks green.
It is greening
Yeah.
up. I noticed like in the triangle pasture here and stuff, where especially where it's been grazed and stuff, like the shorter stuff is going to green up. If it's already grown and hasn't been grazed yet and it's dead,
Yeah, you're done.
It's dead. But it was nice to see. It feels nice to have it rain. It was nice to wake up in the morning and still see like the ground wet and there was puddles. There's no rain in the forecast again.
No, we got it. That's it. We're done. Yeah. Moving right along.
And most of the county got rain, which was nice because up to this point, it's been really, really isolated thunderstorms. And some places have gotten tons of rain. Wright, which is what, like 45 miles from us, south of us, we've heard that even they've had so much rain. Well, they had like a big storm come through and rain came down fast enough that like reservoirs filled, which is nice. None of that happened. We didn't get that much rain. But it was just nice to have rain. And we made all the kids and us and Jeff sat in the shop and watched it rain.
Well, yeah, it was in the weekly vlog, and I did get a few. I can't believe you let Mackenzie run out in a thunderstorm.
She's fine.
Yeah, she made it through it. I don't know. It's it is weird. It's like an event.
Yeah, I think it's like the epitome of like rancher behavior. That's like, let's go sit in the shop and watch the rain come down.
Yeah, let's go do something. Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, it's a rare enough event that it's like when we get giant hail. Like we've watched hail before come rolling in.
Yeah, I mean, we always kind of watch the weather in the summertime, especially. It's pretty significant for us, like rainfall, even like in a good year. It's, we get 14 inches of precipitation and that includes snowfall. So yeah, we pay attention to the weather, but yeah, it was nice.
The only time we haven't really watched it was we had a tornado, like a real tornado warning that happened here one time. We all went in the basement and couldn't see anything. But yeah, that was it. Sandra said, please keep Jeff. Don't let him go. We love him.
We're gonna have to skirt his trailer if he stays.
I did have a conversation with Jeff today. Now I'll tell you about this. So I said October is really busy here on the ranch because we have hunters here in October. Yeah. So it's really hard for me to deal with hunters as well as deal with everything else that needs to happen.
There's no harvest host.
There is no harvest host. So, but
we're
bringing cows back. We're sorting cows. We're selling cows. We're doing all this other stuff. We prig checking all that kind of stuff in October as well. So,
AD 101, we don't have possum here, so we can't cook a possum.
Oh, God, no. Find a groundhog or what are those called? Prairie dog.
Can you eat those?
Prairie dogs? I wouldn't eat one, but I'm sure somebody would.
Yeah, we don't have possum.
So anyway, I'm telling Jeff, I was like, if you just wanted to stay through October, that would be a huge help.
Well, and then you might as well stay.
And then you're here. Yeah, exactly. That's what I say. You're here in October. Well, hell, you might as well stay in November. And we have the Airbnb, and we really don't book it out that much in the wintertime. So, you'd probably be in there most of the time, really. I mean, so, why not just hang out,
The plan is that Jeff's going to leave in September.
Jeff is going to leave.
Can do whatever he wants.
Jeff is going to leave when the first flake of snow hits the ground. He's going to be like, I'm gone. Yeah. It's snowing. I'm out of here.
Could happen any day now.
Yeah, exactly. JP America with $100 super chat. Love the painting. Put Gucci on the jackalope.
We can't afford Gucci.
I can't afford Gucci. Does he still have his glasses? No, where'd his glasses go?
Right.
Lost his glasses.
He needs his mask.
He did have
he needs his mask back.
He needs a mask too. His Minnie Mouse, he might have the Delta variant. His Minnie Mouse glasses, though, they do the trick.
Is his toilet paper still here?
Is there toilet paper still here? Oh my gosh, yeah, see. That's from, we had it on his horn. Yeah, there you go.
He's COVID approved again. Where's his mask?
I don't know. There's probably a mask over there somewhere.
It's gone.
I'm going to send a possum to you guys. I don't want a possum. Oh, ick.
No.
These things are weird looking anyway. I'm glad we don't have that.
There is potential legislation going through Wyoming that you can harvest roadkill, because we don't have that here.
I mean, you can harvest roadkill. You just don't get caught.
So it would be legal to harvest roadkill.
Not that you would want to.
Do you need help at the farm? No, we're good. We got Jeff. We're not taking any help beyond Jeff.
It took a long time to train Jeff. Come on. Patty wants to know if you ship your salsa. You can't actually, can you?
I can't, no, because that's produced under Food Freedom. It's not an inspected product, and so you have to buy it in the farm store, and I don't have any right now. So
we don't have any. So we just sold out of salsa, actually, about a week ago.
There's an empty shelf, and I have nothing to put on it.
One of the most impressive things for me about the farm store is that people travel thousands of miles to come and buy beef at our farm store. Our farm store. And I always tell people, I say, shop local. And I'm serious when I say that. Like, you don't need to come buy beef from us. Buy beef from a local farmer or rancher. But it is amazing that people do want to come and buy. There's something to be said about your cows, because they're just awesome cows. And your salsa is very good too.
It is. So good. We'll make more this fall.
Pretty much anything.
I make whatever I have leftover tomatoes and stuff gets made into salsa, and when it's gone, it's gone. So if you like the salsa, come visit October-ish.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Tyler asked if we're still looking for hay.
We think
no,
we have some.
We're kind of we're in the limbo stage. We're dating a hay guy right now, trying to figure out if we're gonna get married or not.
We're committed.
We're not committed.
Keeping our options open.
Yeah, exactly.
So
We're
if you
just,
have some options for less than 205 a ton delivered to Northeast Wyoming, hit us up.
yeah, exactly.
Slide into our DMs if you're less than 205 a ton.
What did you say? Slide into our DMs? What the heck is
That's
that?
a thing. People know what that is.
That's a thing. You sure? Why do I miss all the cool things that
You're
happen?
too old.
I'm too old. What the heck, man? I was about ready to pay you a compliment that not only, just like our beef and our salsa, everything Erin touches, including me, is better because you're here. I was gonna brag you up, and then you just said I'm old, and I don't get your references to cool lingo.
How much Instagram time do you have?
A day? Way less than you do. I'll tell you that. When you're creating content for all these things, you don't have time to go out and consume as much.
You make me do all the Instagram and Facebook content.
Yeah, but you're not sharing
Are
things
you
with me, obviously, or else I would know what this slide into your home base thing is, or whatever this weird innuendo you have going on.
A direct message.
I know what a DM is. Direct message. But you're combining like a baseball reference.
Okay, we're looking for less than 205 a ton. Delivered.
And apparently you can slide in.
Delivered.
Yeah.
Not 205 in the field. We ain't playing that game. Delivered.
All right. And
Yeah, we can buy
Boston's too
square
greasy.
bales. That's fine.
We can buy what?
Square bales. They
Oh, yeah,
don't
we
need
can
a
put anything through the Hustler. That's the
they
great thing
don't
about the
need a
Hustler.
square meal, but we'll take squares.
I think that was a
Big
joke.
squares, not small squares, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, you just keep your mouth shut.
Alrighty, guys. One last thing to talk about, and that is the pandemic. I'm guessing that's COVID. And the drought has obviously changed how ranchers and farmers do business, especially direct-to-consumer people. We saw a huge rush in March of 2020 after the toilet paper scare, after everybody realized
Coffee. Coffee's the next one.
coffee's
There's
the
going
next
to be
thing.
a coffee shortage.
Buy coffee. Well, now you can't say that because then people will go buy coffee and create a coffee shortage. You could create a shortage just by
I
saying
saw it
that.
on TikTok.
Yeah, of course you did. So back in March, obviously, we got through the toilet paper scare, and then people came and bought beef like crazy.
Yeah.
And so that's what we based our beef production for this year on. And so the big question that we got on Facebook was, how do we see ourselves coming out of the pandemic and the drought, and how it affects our business and the cattle ranching as a whole? Do you see more ranchers and farmers kind of falling to this corporate, agenda, the Jeff Bezos Walmart agenda, where
It's not even Walmart that's the problem. It's the packers.
What is packers? But Walmart is becoming. Walmart wants to be a major packer.
Yeah.
Walmart doesn't want to have to go through JBS or Tyson or National Beef or Cargill. They want to be their own packer, right? Because they want to control it from beginning to end. And the same thing that Whole Foods is doing or anybody else is doing. So how do you see all of this coming out of the pandemic and drought and everything else? And our phone's ringing. If somebody's calling us right now, we're not going to answer.
Our phone that we never answer. I think that Western ranchers are in a very tough situation. And the Western United States, there is probably no question about it, herd sizes are going to be reduced throughout the West. If you're fortunate enough that you can keep your herd and maintain your herd where it's at, and you're in a drought state, that's pretty awesome. That's good financial planning. I think a lot of ranchers are going to downsize, and I think if hay prices don't come down, it's forcing a lot of ranchers to downsize more than they would be comfortable with normally.
Right.
I hope that more ranchers make the shift to direct-to-consumer so that they can stay in business. The reality is family ranches are going to go out of business if this continues.
Do you think, we see, if you ever watch Netflix, there's a show called Rotten on Netflix that you can watch. They haven't done one on the cattle industry yet, but they've done it on the chicken industry, and how, like Tyson pays people to raise chickens for them.
Yeah, at a set price, regardless of inputs.
It's not even, it's like a lottery almost. It's weird how they decide how much these guys get paid. Do you think that's the direction that vertical integration is the way that cattle ranches are going to go?
I don't think it's here yet. I think, but I think it's happening. And there is some good progress being made with like kind of with country of origin labeling and stuff. They're not calling
Oddly
it that,
enough, yeah.
but yeah, there is some good stuff happening, and there is some investigation happening within the packing industry, potentially some investigation happening and stuff. So like, I mean, we'll see what comes from all of this. It's going to take at least a year, I'm sure. But I think if you can help your local farmer or rancher stay in business for the next year, like, we need your guys' help.
Yeah, not just us. I mean, we're talking about
everyone.
all, you know, everybody.
If you're in a drought-stricken state, like, we need help right now. If you have hay for sale, like, be reasonable about your hay prices. If you're a trucker and you can haul hay, be reasonable about your trucking cost. Like, pay for your expenses, but don't gouge us in the process, because in a few years when we need you again, we're going to be out of business if we can't get through this next year. I mean, that's the reality. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be tough. I think the next couple of years is going to make or break a lot of small family ranches. I think we're going to make it through it.
I think, you know, and it's not like, I'm not going to say that we planned ahead or anything, but being able to diversify what you're doing. And if you see yourself, you know, trying to make a living off of a ranch or a farm or even a homestead or anything like that, like, you have to have a diversified sources of income, because otherwise, if one thing fails, you have to have something to back that up.
Yeah.
You know, and it goes back to even, you know, our pastures, you know, grass in the pasture. We got 35 different varieties of grass in the pasture because one may not grow one year, but the other one may do great. Yeah. And that's very much passed down to sources of income and everything else. So
yeah, and it's not, you know, we hope for a lot of snow this winter to bring our soil moisture up and our water table back up and replenish soil moisture. But even then, it's not going to be that everything's going to be great. There's definitely grass damage out there. We're going to have to reseed hayfields. There's
overgrazing happening like crazy.
Overgrazing happening all over the country right now, all over the western part of the country. And we're, you know, we want lots of snow, but we want a mild winter, because we're going to skip by on the bare minimum of hay. And there's a lot of ranchers that are going to skip by on less than the bare minimum of hay. So we're in a catch-22 that we need a tough winter to replenish our moisture, but we need to feed our cows less.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
that we can
it's
keep our
honestly
cows.
came to the point where we had a conversation the other night about, like, just selling everything at the end of the when we sell calves, get rid of everybody, moms, calves, everything. Yeah. Don't have to feed anything all winter long. Buy new in the spring.
And that's a super risky gamble. That's what you see a lot of people doing. That's a super risky gamble, because, like, cow prices in the spring, like bred cows, bred heifers, could be through the roof in the spring. I don't know. There's lots of pairs on the market right now. We've heard of the pairs being told, come pick them up. They didn't sell. Yeah.
Actually, there was a guy, I think it was in Billings, that had 40 pair that he took to auction. Pairs are moms and calves. He took them to auction to sell them, and they called him after the auction and said, come get your cows, and nobody bought them. Nobody even bid on them, because nobody can feed them. So and nobody wants to feed them. So it's a tricky situation that we're all in right now. So just blow on those dice, flip them out there, see what happens.
I think we'll make it through it. I mean, 10 years ago we went down a weird path that put us in the direct-to-consumer market, and, like, thank God that we're there. Mm-hmm. Thank God that we can cash flow it and that we can ramp up. It's not cheap to do what we're doing. The amount of money that I spend on processing in a year would blow your guys' mind. It's probably our biggest expense other than hay, and it is our biggest expense.
It costs us more than hay.
Yeah.
We spend $80,000 in hay. Processing costs are more than that.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And processing is going up and stuff too. But it's the only path that I can see for us forward is direct to consumer and smaller herd size and 100% direct to consumer within the next couple of years.
I talked to Bill the Tractor Man, brought up a point here. Remember the major blizzard that crushed the Western States many years ago? A few years ago, not that long ago. We had a huge blizzard that came through, killed entire herds. And I was
that was really bad in South Dakota in October. Not that there was
early snow.
Not that there was that much snowfall, but it was really windy, it was really wet, and they didn't have their winter hare.
Right.
And they were on summer pasture, ours included. They were in the one-legged windmill pasture.
They were way down there.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to another rancher in our county the other day about this, and we were talking about hay prices. And a lot of our hay comes out of South Dakota, so I'm not going to bash anybody about this, but I am going to say that he was not very pleased because he said when that happened in South Dakota, they sent them money. They sent them hay. We supported our neighbors. Yeah. And now that it's kind of flipped around and you've got hay in South Dakota and now it's $210 a ton and it's 100 miles away.
Yeah,
so
and the blizzard of 49, if you guys have not looked up the blizzard of 49 in Wyoming, it was awful. It killed entire herds and stuff.
Yeah.
And
they airlifted hay in. Yeah.
That will happen. I hope that we don't experience that in our lifetime because it was just look it up. There's tons of videos on YouTube. It was awful. It would essentially, if the blizzard of 49 happened, even with modern day technology and stuff, we would lose our entire herd. I have no doubt about that. So
and Tim mentioned that after the 2012 drought, low numbers made calf prices go high in 2014 and 2015. We were record high prices.
15 could also be contributed somewhat to cool. Too.
Yeah, country of origin living came back for just a little while. That could happen again. But it really is controlled by packers. So if we're still, drought and COVID put together is almost like a perfect storm because now we can take the drought, prices may go up on our end, but you know what, we can't get them through fast enough. So you guys are still supplying us with too many cows. Yeah. So who knows how it's going to play out, but we'll definitely, we'll make it work and we'll be here and we'll kind of keep you guys up to date. And that's our whole mission is to not only show people where their food's coming from, but also the families behind it and the struggles that ranchers and farmers go through, and the wins and the losses. I think it's important to show both and be able to have a representation of that. So we thank you guys for coming along with us and doing that. We thank Patty for the picture back here behind us. We thank Dan Wickersham for doing the same thing that we're doing, just a few states away and trying to make it work. And of course, everybody who comes to live streams and hangs out with us here on our pod streams. I like that. Pod streams.
I've seen lots of questions about how do you support, how do you help buy hay. Go to our website, buy some jerky, buy a t-shirt. That does help us, guys.
It does. I mean, obviously there's a markup on that stuff and we're making money off of that. Yeah. So we don't ask for a handout. I'm not saying, you can become a Patreon supporter just like Peter did or Hilo Driver 20 did this month. You can support us on Patreon that direction. You can do that. You can buy and get something in return for it too. And we'd much rather everybody be happy.
Yeah, come to the farm store, buy a product, buy some jerky, buy some merch off the website. Somebody came to the farm store yesterday and they wanted to hand me a $100 bill, and I said, nope, you bought stuff. It's fine. And so we put it in the donation.
Whoa, what? What? What happened?
He put it in the donation box for EPP.
Oh, very nice.
That pays my salary. I do get paid a wage. So I mean, it is.
Really?
We don't take. They bought over $100 worth of stuff.
I'm kidding.
They made a donation to EPP. Erin, what do you want me to send the hats to? Rebecca, you can send them to either Owl's P.O. Box or EPP's P.O. Box. They're on websites. The addresses are. So just send them to one of the P.O. boxes. Yeah, I mean, just if you guys want to support us, buy something. And that's,
get something out of it too.
Enjoy one of the products that we produce and that we sell. And that helps us.
Yeah,
so.
Buy some jerky. It's good.
Yeah.
This is the honey jerky. It's very yummy. I've been this has been sitting here for like a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Still haven't cracked open that. So thank you very much for hanging out with us, guys. We do appreciate it. We will be back a couple weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Obviously, new video due out on Tuesday, new video on Friday, new video on Sunday morning. That's our weekly vlog. I hope you guys are enjoying that as much as we are, because it is kind of fun to do. This last week we did the evenings on the ranch just because every time I went to film, it seemed like my day was gone. I could do mornings maybe this week. That might be fun. Of course, then I can't do Grace's birthday party because it's not going to be in the morning.
Then you could do lunches on the ranch.
Lunches on the ranch. The 1 o'clock hour, the twilight hour. I don't know, maybe. We could do sleeping on the ranch. That'd be a good one. And just have a week of me just sleeping. That might be good.
Denise asked if we'll ever have V-neck shirts for women. We'll look and see if our supplier has any available. We can check that out.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, thank you guys. We will see you next time. Until then, just keep on following along. Make sure you subscribe, not only to the Beyond the Ranch channel, but also to the Our Wyoming Life channel. 60% of our viewers don't subscribe to our channel. I don't know if that button is hard to find or what, but just hit the damn thing, and it actually does help. So thank you very much. Thank you to our mods for hanging out with us tonight. Everybody keeping us all in line. The next live stream, Matt put it up there, is the 15th of August. So